What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Tournament Tactics. We got a special Thanksgiving Day breakdown coming to you guys. 3-game slate, lots of high-scoring games, lots of turkey and stuffing. And we got the super crew to break it down. Let's fucking go. Tournament Tactics!
Let's go! Geek on the keys, Kevin Allen with the vision. BobbyWow 2 times already won, 2 millions, no fiction. Burns in the shark lab, calculating the math. Wrote the damn book on how to run up a bag. Desire pull up, the MILF Slayer in the building. GPP trophies on his neck, keep the whole chat thrilled in. Turd hat, who? Not us, we eating. Heat it. Oh! Tournament tactics, we stacking the bags again. Millie maker hunters, yeah, we cashing in. Helmets up, blue moon in the cup, boner alert. That over under going up. Core plays, live domination, station pop. Props based projections make the whole field drop. DFS Army. Tournament tactics. Let's put.
Yo, all right. It's Thanksgiving Day, guys. 3-gamer. We got Bobby 2 times, and we got the MILF Slayer to take it down. We're going to break it all down, guys. This is my favorite slate of the year. 3 games. It's just a perfect size.
So good.
Yeah, perfect size slate. No Burns today, guys. Burns did put out a sheet, though, for DFS Army VIPs, so that is available. But Burns is working.
And he'll be back Friday.
Yep.
Yeah. And for real, this is a fun slate. Really exciting 3-gamer. All the games have a lot of intrigue. They're all kind of close as well. I mean, there's no real like predicted blowouts here. And I love it. First game, Packers at the Lions rematch, divisional rivalry there. The return of Josh Jacobs. Okay. That's mostly it, right? That's most of the intrigue in that one. Next, we have KC at Dallas. Kansas City fighting for their playoff lives. Got to win. Have to win. You know, Dallas and just creating these high-scoring affairs. So awesome, right? That'll be great. And then as if that wasn't good enough, Bengals at the Ravens, the return of Joe Burrow. We don't have to worry about T. Higgins. None of that. He's out of the way.
He's worried about him from a health perspective, but
Yeah.
not from a DFS perspective.
True.
Yeah. So we got a 3-gamer, guys, to break down. I think the best way to look at this slate is going to be in the context of exposures, ownerships, matchups, game by game. But let's do I think we can take a quick look at the matchup sheet here and just see what we can glean from usages from last week.
Yep.
See if we can try to get some of this figured out, guys. Let's start with Detroit at Green Bay. Showdown breakdown style, right? Detroit at Green Bay last week. I think we have to start to acknowledge, I've heard a lot of people talking about the Gibbs Montgomery thing. I think it's time to start to acknowledge with Detroit that Montgomery is effectively playing a true RB2 role.
Yep.
Let's internalize it, accept it. This is not 2024. This was not the 50-50 split. Last week it was 73-33 on the snap count for Gibbs. On the season, it's about 60-40.
Yeah.
This game, yeah. So Gibbs is the guy.
Can't argue with it. It's just right in our face at this point.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, the eye test is there. When you watch the team, it's so much more exciting when Gibbs is in there compared to Montgomery. There's just an eye test thing here. He's the clear RB1. Let's accept it. Let's internalize it. We move on. At wide receiver for Detroit. So since the loss of, Laporta, Brock Wright really stepped in and he's handling that tight end responsibility. Not getting a whole lot of targets, though. Not like Laporta. Brock Wright has a Q tag on him. Let's see what happens with that. I don't even know if he's going to play. Got a Q tag. I guess if Wright doesn't play, just kind of forget the tight end situation completely. Ross Dwelly, gross.
God, Fersker.
Anthony Ferkser is one of the original turds from the Where My Turds At spinner thingy that happens during that song. His face is in there because Ferkser was an original like showdown winning turd from years ago.
Tannehill to Ferkser with the Titans.
You remember it?
I think that was it. Yes.
Yeah, literally when it does that little spinner thing with player turd faces, Ferkser's face is in that.
Is that a sign of things to come?
No. Wide receiver group. This is where it gets interesting. Really, last week, the chalk. This is actually funny. Last week, the chalk became Jameson Williams, right?
Yep.
I'm assuming one of our competitor companies put out the word that that's the guy, right? I think I know which company it is, but he was the chalk, and he gets a 0, right? Disaster chalk. Now this week, priced like a 1,200 lower, no one wants to play him. His ownership is like nothing. I just find that funny. It's just funny, right? So he went from chalk at 5,700 to no one wants to play him at 4,800. That is the beauty of Jameson Williams. We will do different. And that's it. They're not really involving the turds that much. Wiz Khalifa, Isaac Tesla.
Yeah, I think the important thing to note here, though, is with Laporta going down, the Lions have run far less 2 tight end sets. I mean, you've got Brock Wright out there for 68% of the snaps. And what's happened is Amon-Ra and Jamo are basically playing every single snap now. So their snap count has increased. And, you see Tesla is getting some more snaps as well. So the targets haven't followed yet. But I do think that's of note as we're kind of trying to sift through turds here, and for MME lineups on this slate. Wiz Khalifa, 40% of the snaps. Decent.
But check this out. Got a big old red Q tag.
Yep.
I wanted to see. I knew he was non-participant. I mean, it's Wednesday. We don't know if he's going to start tomorrow. Guy's not a participant yesterday. I would say if the Wiz Khalifa does not play, Tesla is going to get all those snaps.
And that could be really significant with, the Lions only having 1 tight end on the field. He could see like 75% of the snaps here if Khalif's hurt.
He got a Q tag as well. So I guess we'll need to see what the story is there. But, let's keep in mind, let's keep that in mind because for tomorrow, this might be a relevant turd. Yep. Probably not, but it could be a turd. There could be some turd relevance here. Okay, fine. Shifting over to the Packers side of it, the snap counts from last week are going to be not as revealing because Josh Jacobs was obviously out. They've got possible returns of different wide receivers. So a lot of things are changing, but I think we can figure out what we can figure out. Last week, they gave all the running back work to Manny Wilson.
Beautiful.
Great. They knew they had a game 4 days later. You can't run a guy 35 times in a game and then 3 days later you're doing it again. They figured let's get Josh Jacobs the rest that he deserves, and we'll bring him back healthier for this game. So we'll get a healthy Josh Jacobs back here, and I think he'll be spelled by Manny Wilson as usual. Note that Detroit is very, very good against the run on the season. As much as we have this idea of the Lions as not that like kind of a subpar defense, their rush defense has been spectacular. Really, they've been beaten via the pass. So noteworthy.
Yeah, the interesting thing here too with the split between Jacobs and Wilson is Josh Jacobs hasn't been anywhere close to 100+ yards all year, and Wilson did it relatively easily last week. So I am interested in seeing what that split really looks like.
Yeah, agree. But I still, Wilson got there on like massive carry numbers too. It wasn't like he was having explosive plays.
True.
I honestly, I thought Wilson looked like Josh Jacobs out there. Same kind of thing. Like he rarely gets an explosive play. It's just like volume. It's like you look up and he's got 33 carries and you're like, all right, yeah, he got there.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Scoring touchdowns. I don't know that this game is going to be as controllable via the Packers as that other one. It could be. But I don't know if it's going to be this run heavy thing. But I will say this again, Detroit is no pushover when it comes to their rush defense. They are a team that is better attacked via the air or have been so far for the most part this season. And getting to that part, first of all, this part opened up my eyes. And guys who are watching this, we're taking an extra long time to break down 3 games because there's just 3 games.
Yeah.
So we're taking our time with it, right? Check out the tight end usage. We thought it was going to be Luke Musgrave. But really, Musgrave only had a 37% snap count. Got this other turd, Josh Wiley, in there, and John Fitzpatrick, another turd in there, blocker. So, like,
Yeah.
certainly did not have Musgrave straight replace Tucker Kraft at all here.
Yeah, I mean, what's happening here is Musgrave's just a god-awful blocker, and he can only catch the ball sometimes. And so they're like, hey, Musgrave, you're out here. We don't trust you to block at all. So we'll probably at least pass you the ball on occasion while you're out here, but he's never blocking. Whereas the other two tight ends, they're better blockers.
That's why this guy, basically, he was drafted ahead of Tucker Kraft, but like he just didn't work out. I think they wanted to get like a pass catcher, but they realized, hey, he doesn't have any ability to block.
Yep.
So this is a problem. Bobby Dubs, do we just ignore this trio?
I don't know. I don't know that you. Yeah, it's tough to play anybody here unless you're trying to create a sneaky stack with Jordan Love and get really silly for the millie, but that's about it.
Yeah, it does not appeal to me very much. All right, at wide receiver, at this point, we have the potential return of Jaden Reed. Do we know if that's happening?
No, coach said it's going to be a game time decision. He'll let us know tomorrow.
That's crap.
Freaking
going to be annoying as hell.
Frenchie LaFleur. I can't stand that guy.
Frenchman. God damn it.
No, is he really going to play, guys?
No,
I don't think so.
They're going to wait one more week, right? It would make just make no sense for him to return tomorrow.
No, I don't see it. And he hasn't practiced enough this week. I don't like it. Coming off of IR on a Thursday, it just seems weird to me. But let's acknowledge that Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs are now on the field effectively the whole time.
Yeah.
And Christian Watson continues to elevate himself into, I'm the WR1 here. He's like, I'm the WR1 now. That's from that movie with the Somali pirates. That was my impression of.
I thought it was like an anime impression you were trying to go off.
Like, I'm the captain now. He's like, I'm the captain now. Christian Watson. It's from that movie. But yeah, he's been 30%, 31% target share last week. Okay. Watson catch a touchdown, man. I love Watson. Healthy Watson.
He's a deep play guy too. He could torch the lines over the top.
Yeah. He has a little Josh Gordon in his game. Little vintage Josh Gordon in that game of his.
Interesting.
A little bit.
Such a random.
Wow.
Pulled out a name of a player who had a 3-week career back in 2016.
3 weeks.
That's right.
Oh,
What's the point of having that floating around in there if you don't excrete it every once in a while? So yeah, I like Christian Watson here for that price point. He'd be my favorite of these. I don't know if Matthew Golden's going to play. He's got that Q tag going. If he does not play, I think Dontavian Vicks comes in there.
Yeah. Was that a little accent there too? Vicks?
Yeah. Well,
German or something?
I don't know.
Or are you still going Somalian here?
I don't know. I couldn't get out of the headspace there. But yeah, Dontavian Wicks makes he actually played a little bit last week. Like he was on the field with Golden out. So it does seem that Wicks steps in for Golden, assuming that the other wide receiver doesn't come in. I think Wicks 3,400, another turd with viability on the slate. He's somebody got to pay attention to in this game.
Even if Golden plays, which I think he will, I think Wicks is a viable turd. Like he's still getting a similar number of snaps, whether Golden plays or not, and he's getting more targets. Like I'm not saying play him, but if you're doing MME and you're stacking Love up, he's another guy I would not uncheck.
Yeah,
just because he always finds a way to get involved.
Yeah, that's not
With
crazy.
All that being said, guys, I think Christian Watson is one of my favorite plays on the slate at wide receiver at sub 5K. He's going to be heavily featured in my lineups this week. I like him a lot.
I'm having deja vu. Christian Watson he's a 3-week-a-year guy where like you'll be excited. I feel the same way. So as long as he can stay healthy, man.
I like Dobbs a little bit more than Watson this week. he hasn't been as involved the last couple of weeks, but it's really because he's been dropping passes. He just hasn't been the guy like he has been earlier this season. But he's the one I'm looking at. I do think that was a really good call on Wicks, Bobby, because Golden, I just don't think the Packers trust him a lot, especially as we got towards some of the more recent weeks. He just, when healthy, still wasn't out there as often. And like you said, we saw more Wicks. So I think that's an interesting call, man.
I don't want to call Golden a first-round bust yet, but
it's looking like it.
I got some hate from Packers fans the last time I said it, so now I don't want to say it anymore. I don't like the negativity. Someone's like, "You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about." All right. Forget I said anything. Yep. Forget I said anything. I'll just move on.
It's a tough season for the Packers. We're seeing the Bears up top, NFC North.
Yeah, I mean, injured Watson. Of course he's injured. That's the beauty of Christian Watson. We just play him when he's in there. It's not going to be for that long, but for those few games. And now he's knocked the dust off the last few weeks. He is in peak performance time right now. It's like his third game back. Yeah,
man.
I'm about it. All right, let's shift gears to Dallas at K-Sizzles.
Dallas coming off of a remarkable comeback win. Really interesting.
Impressive.
What a collapse. What an epic collapse by the Eagles. That was just unbelievable.
So bad.
Wild.
So rough for the Eagles fans. But, I will say this. Take some notes. And you know what happened last week with Dallas? You know how we all think Dallas defense is absolute dog shit? They're terrible. They're shit at everything. They were not that bad. And we're starting to see the effects of both players getting healthy on that defense, but more importantly, they added a bunch of people. Let's not forget that they brought in some studs at the trade deadline who are now being integrated better onto that team. And the result last week was, for better or for worse, Saquon Barkley, Saqueezy, was real cheesy in that game, only putting up 22 rushing yards against Dallas.
Yep.
Is Dallas... They brought in one stud, I believe, right? They brought in on the D line.
Quinn Williams, one of the Williams brothers is over there. They also brought in, I think, a defensive back. I can't remember.
Are we giving too much credit to Dallas, though? Because the Eagles have been really bad on offense for a long time now. They've been floundering. I think maybe it's a mixture of both, but you're right. The Cowboys, I think it's fair to say they're not as bad as they have been earlier in the season.
Or I think it's more like they're better against the run than we thought they were going to be. They're still god-awful against the pass.
Yeah. I'm not saying, they have this great defense, but we want them to be good against the run. The way I want this game to play out is a fucking Mahomes to Rice and Kelsey bonanza. I don't want to hear about Pacheco vulturing. I don't want to hear about Cream getting in there, stealing tutties. None of that's good for the way I want to play the slate. So
we don't need that.
It's better for me if they can't stop anything.
And important to acknowledge both these two games, the one we talked about in Detroit and this one indoors. Okay, so that's a big deal here as well.
True.
Temperature controlled environment.
Dallas at home. Love that too, as far as like a competitive game goes.
Dallas gonna play better at home. Chiefs under the gun. Let's not forget that Mahomes is GOAT, and GOATs do not miss the playoffs. That doesn't happen. This is like if Tom Brady, it's like a gift. The team needs to win out, and it's like this gift that it's like a gift when Tom Brady was with the Patriots and the Patriots were +3, and you're like, oh, I don't care who the opponent is. Did you just slap a plus tag on the Patriots like in the playoffs? This team that makes the Super Bowl every year? It was like the free money of a lifetime. The Chiefs are going to
last week. Except last week, Mahomes looked all god awful,
and yet he pulled it out because he's Mahomes.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
He pulled it out. That's going to keep happening. I said it here. These guys they're not going to lose. They will make the playoffs.
They might.
It was said here on Thanksgiving because I know what GOATs do. GOAT's going to GOAT.
I mean, I would love to see them not make the playoffs because I hate them in showdowns, but yeah.
That hatred of them, your desire of them not to want to do it, those are all the reasons they're going to make it. It's like, hey, I really love the stock. I hope it goes down. It never goes down when you're hoping it goes down.
Yep.
All right. So let's get into the usages here. Really interesting phenomenon occurred on DraftKings this week where they have now elevated the price of George Pickens ahead of CD Lamb. They watched the game last
Rightfully
week.
so. Rightfully so, right?
I mean, no.
Okay.
Not right. Rightfully from performance based, but not from
what do you think it is? I mean, of course,
like
performance-based, what else would it be?
I mean, CeeDee Lamb got to stop dropping passes. He would have put up a 40 last week if he caught the ball.
We've been saying this all season now, though. CeeDee's been dropping the ball all season long. That's part of the problem. Is that it has been an entire season worth of issues, and that's kind of why we see Pickens' price go up. That makes me love CD this week, but for really no objective reason whatsoever. I think Pickens clearly deserves the price raise.
Yeah, I agree. I like Lamb more than Pickens with the price difference. Sure, that helps, but if I want to find a reason outside of I just want to go to CD with less people being on him, it's the fact that KC, they do play significantly more man than most NFL teams do, and CD Lamb in the slot will benefit in a spot like that. So, and multiple pros here.
That's and good. KC is a prevent the deep ball type of team. They'll probably have help for Pickens on the outside. So I totally agree. Totally agree. I think, again, I thought last week also should have been a better game for Lamb, and they threw it to him more. He just didn't catch the passes. Like that, I can't stop the man from dropping the ball. This is a guy who can absolutely catch the ball when it goes his way. It's a concentration thing. That's the only time he's dropping a pass. Like mine's not in the game.
And to your point, he is going to explode one of these weeks. He's going to be back. He's going to announce his return here. Why not tomorrow?
Lamb has had some big Thanksgiving slates as well over the years. Not that matters.
He wants the turkey leg. He wants a post-game turkey.
Want that turkey leg. It's always Zeke Elliott having that turkey leg.
The Cowboys, man, they're a Thanksgiving team.
They do win on Thanksgiving. This is going to be a tough one for them. I'd like to see him pull this one off, right? I guess we'll see tomorrow. But a little bit on the players stuff here, and then I want to get a little into matchups. But Javonte, again, bulk of the carries. No one else really to worry about at running back for the Cowboys, I don't think. We got Ferguson getting most of the tight end work, and he's good, and he still continues to see targets. Schoonmaker has probably been the better secondary turd tight end. We don't really need to get this turdly on a 3-game slate, by the way, guys. We know this isn't a showdown, but it is noteworthy. It's probably Schoonmaker, but I don't think I'm going to care about those guys. As far as the wide receivers go, again, Pickens and Lamb absolutely on the field all the time, with Flournoy and Turpin effectively splitting the WR3 work. I would say either a Flournoy and Turpin are mildly acceptable showdown turds, but barely acceptable turds for this game.
Yeah, no Mingo. Someone in the chat mentioned Mingo. That's insanity. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's probably too soon for Mingo.
That's coming from a Panthers fan.
That's also more of a showdown thing than something I'd want to be messing with on this full 3-game slate that we're referring to.
Although he did double his snap count last week, so.
Oh God.
From 2 to 4. That is a big addition. Now, one thing about Dallas is defensively they play almost exclusively zone, which is going to be a net positive for Rice and for Kelsey. So this is another one of those games on the other side that sets up as a Rice-Kelsey bonanza.
Mahomes going to pick apart this secondary. My goodness.
Yeah.
And Noah Gray is not going to play, which means Kelsey snaps are going to continue to be up toward that 90% mark.
Feed that directly into my vein. I need more of that.
And their right guard is out, which means runs up the middle that they love to do with guys like Hunt and Pacheco, they should do significantly less often too. So I'm with y'all.
Yeah. So getting down to the usages here for the Chiefs, and this is important, right? So Hunt, with no Pacheco last week, became like a starting RB1, but Pacheco is fully coming back now, which splits this shit into disaster zone. Unplayable. I would suggest that Hunt is the better play than Pacheco just because they still continue to like to give Hunt the ball at the goal line. So if we wanted to hunt for like a touchdown with Hunt, great. But the problem is at 5K, at 5,300, even 2 touchdowns might not be enough if he's not doing anything with it. And 1 touchdown most likely won't be enough. He'd have to do more than that. So I think this is a very thin running back situation to even mess with. I do make note that my boy Clyde Edwards-Helaire got some snaps the other day.
Your boy.
Yeah.
He did get some snaps. It was weird. I can't imagine that trend continues here with Pacheco back, but
it definitely won't. But like, I thought he was out of the NFL years ago, and then he just he reappeared. He resurrected himself.
The Chiefs don't know how to move on from running backs.
It's like loyalty on that team, man. That is one of the bigger first round picks in your dynasty draft busts of all time. That's almost as bad as it gets. The next worst one right behind him was a guy named Bishop Stanky.
Bishop Sankey. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's a throwback. Yeah, he's the true bust. My gosh.
No, Clyde Edwards-Helaire just as bad. Let's see what they did at wide receiver last week. And this is important on this team, right? So he's saying Noah Gray is out. So number one, it does elevate a tight end turd in Robert Tonyan.
There you go.
Showdown, interesting. 3-game slate, not so interesting. Bobby Tonyan, remember him?
Of course. How could I forget? He's killed the Bears.
Brash Smith is just not my deal either right now. I'm not into it. No, Brashard Smith.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be completely taken out of the offense. He'll still get some touches, but I don't think he'll be DFS relevant.
All right. This is important, guys. The wide receiver snap counts on this team are crazy. We already know this about this squad. We already know the Chiefs got some crazy wide receiver usage numbers. Rashee Rice, 62% of the snaps, which seems low on its own regard, but he's just coming out of the game on those obvious running plays, which that won't happen as much in this one. Xavier Worthy in the game pretty much for all the snaps. His price is declining rapidly. They have him at 4,500 this week. That is a very affordable guy who can be a slate breaker. 17% target share last week. Okay. Love that. Now, last week, Marquise Brown's snaps starting to come down a little bit, mixing in with Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton. That WR3/4 role is gross. It's widespread, and any one of those guys can get in there. Do you have a preference at all, gentlemen?
My preference is none.
None.
Yeah. Those turds for the Chiefs, man, it's tough. They throw the ball to everybody. It's hard to have a favorite there.
It's gross.
Now, with Gray out, I will say it'll be interesting to see here. My hunch would be you kind of like with the Lions, you see the wide receiver snaps go up a little bit, which could make one of these guys totally relevant. But man, there's no way to like pick between any of them. They're just all so disgusting.
Let me put it like this. If you are attacking that $5 contest with 570,000 people in it and $1 million to first this week on DraftKings, it may very well be a Tyquan Thornton level turd. That is why you can win that. You're going to have to find something low owned in that because 500,000 people competing and everybody takes Mahomes and Rashee Rice. That's not, you got to do something different.
Yep.
You got to get something crazy. If that means Marquise Brown has a day, Tyquan Thornton has a day, Juju Smith-Schuster resurrects, he does a little TikTok dance at the end.
I mean, I really do think I would prefer to just take a shot on Tonyan at his price tag.
There you go. Or Bobby Tonyan has done it before.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. I like Xavier Worthy at his price point here. Of course,
Rice. Yeah, of course, Worthy.
Yeah, I'm like Rice. So when I look at this game, Kelsey, I'm not sure if I'm going to go core play Kelsey, but I'll have a lot of Kelsey on the slate. Definitely with my Mahomes lineups quite a bit. I think Worthy is priced incorrectly.
Kelsey will be core for me. He is just a slam dunk. As slam dunk as it gets on a slate with not that many phenomenal tight ends to choose from.
There is another really, really good tight end coming up in the next game, or at least a great matchup for tight ends.
Yeah,
coming up in the next game.
Props would love Kelsey, but yeah, I know. Yeah,
agree. Yeah. There is another one that's really good coming up. You think T-Swizz is going to be here at the game?
I would think so.
Oh, it doesn't matter, right?
I knew. I
mean, she knows how to motivate Kelsey.
Brings the best out of him.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on. So that's the second game. The one thing, like I said, I would say about this one is matchups wise, it absolutely favors the passing game for the Chiefs, and it specifically favors Rice and Kelsey, who are known as zone defense beaters. So really interesting there. Let's move on to the third game, but of course, real quick, I have to mention that it is Black Friday. We got the Black Friday promo going here at DFS Army. That's right.
Let's go.
25% off VIP. You know how we do. NFL only, or the annual all sports, which is the best of them all to do. The VIP and props, whatever plan you like. Promo code BF2025. New subscribers, you've been waiting to get signed up. You're like, I don't want to pay. This is your chance. It will lock in the 25% off for as long as you stay subscribed. You don't get kicked out. We don't raise prices on people. We've never done it, and we don't do it. So make sure to take advantage of the DFS Army Black Friday special. We don't do this kind of 25. We never do it. So this is a unique one. We've done it in a flash sale once or twice, but this is it. BF 2025, 25% off. Get in there, get signed up. DFSarmy.com, DFSarmy.com, DFSarmy.com. All right. We move on.
Such a good time, too. Such a good time to do it with all the sports and full
nonstop. It's just this weekend alone. By the way, I'll be back later for DFS Army subscribers. This evening, I will be doing a Dom Station setup for this slate as well. So, yes, we will be doing this for the slate as well. That'll be this evening, probably maybe 9-ish, when I'm setting up my lineups and looking to get set up for this one. All right. Game number 3. Baltimore at Cincinnati. Cincinnati at Baltimore. Yeah, Cincinnati at Baltimore. I'm like, what did I read that wrong? The return of Joe Burrow. T. Higgins is concussed and will be out for this game. The Bengals defense is actually epically bad, unlike the maybe pretender badness of the Lions and or Cowboys defenses. The Bengals are really actually bad, like terrible. So with that being said, let's get into these two teams. Starts with the Ravens. And of course, Ravens, we already know what goes on with the Ravens. Derrick Henry smashes in games where the Ravens are favored and win. And when they're playing from behind, Derrick Henry tends to cede touches to all of the guys. Henry will be the highest owned running back probably on the slate.
Whew. Could see that.
Yeah, he looks like that. Now, Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely get the nut matchup against a Bengals defense that is as bad as they are. They're especially and like surprisingly extra bad against tight ends. 32nd, allowing the most fantasy points per game to tight ends out of any team in the National Football League. It's Andrews' time. It's Likely time. So I kind of see this game a little bit of like Henry, play action, Andrews. Done. Right? Now, that's kind of how it seems like it's going to look on paper.
Just some little nugget here. Justice Hill was added to the injury report yesterday. If he doesn't play, I think Keaton Mitchell deserves a little bit of turd love as well. You know, whether it be blowout run, if the Ravens can finally put things together, or just Henry's just not getting a full complement of snaps this season. He's old. They're kind of protecting him. If Keaton Mitchell was the only other running back in town here, that would be a difference maker on a slate like this. So just we got to pay attention to that news if that trend continues with Justice Hill.
Yeah, that's a great call out. I agree.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and I would agree. Let's pay attention to that. But if Hill does play, now it's just him and Keaton Mitchell kind of splitting the RB2 work. It's
really
more of a
no interest
showdown.
if Hill plays, but if he doesn't,
Yeah.
definitely some interest.
All right, so we're going to pay attention to that. Let's see if he is out this week. Speaking of that, we'll talk about Samaje Perine's return in a second when we get to the Bengals. But so Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, I think it's interesting to note that even though Andrews has been more productive as of late, Likely has been ramping his way kind of back into some usage, and he hasn't been catching the ball. They throw it his way, he doesn't catch it, but at some point he's going to start catching some of those.
Yep.
And again, this is the team to attack with tight ends, but note that the usage for Andrews and Likely is much more even than I guess our sensibility would have thought going in. Andrews has been more productive this season by a long shot than Likely, but could be variance, could be noise.
More productive, but also not very productive. Like that's the thing.
Nothing great.
This pass game has really suffered with Lamar struggling like he has. I mean, we saw it the last couple of weeks. The Browns makes a little bit of sense, but the struggles against the Jets last week were just I don't get it. I don't understand what's happening.
That, and it's not just Lamar. Henry, his fantasy point score makes you think he did well, but he only averaged 3 yards per run. Like he did not look great. Those 2 touchdowns saved him.
That's
their
why I like
entire
Mitchell.
offense has been questionable.
That's why I'm really hoping Hill doesn't play, because you're right. Henry looks every bit of his old age, which he's still younger than me. But in running back years, kind of like dog years, right? Running back years, that's way older, and he does not look good. So really interesting with the Ravens playing like they are right now.
If you ever want to go somewhere to start looking good as a running back, it's when you're at home against the Bengals. Yes. Henry will be very high owned, guys. And there are not, as we get into the whole slate, by the way, after this, we're going to get into the full slate. So we're going to discuss all of this in the context of the slate and the ownerships. But when you start to look at it, you're like, man, who else am I going to play? So Henry is a very attractive running back for tomorrow. Heavy favorite against the terrible run defense. Like all of the metrics point to Henry having a good game. If he can't pull it off here, I don't know where he's pulling it off. Scrolling down to the wide receiver group. Oh, there's so many of them for the Ravens, right? So Zay Flowers is the only guy that's on the field the whole game. He's out there the whole time. And actually of late, getting a full target share that a dominant wide receiver should get.
Yes.
After that, I think Bateman remains out.
I think he's gonna play. It looked like he returned to practice yesterday. It sounds like he's gonna suit up.
Yeah, he'd been hurt, so they're saying he's so iffy on Bateman. If Bateman comes back, I think it hurts all of these other guys, but certainly I think DeAndre Hopkins the most directly. Not that I played DeAndre Hopkins at all, but none of these guys are heavy on my radar at all. I don't like any of them.
It's a tight end show at the Ravens. When they're playing well, it's because their tight ends are playing well too and involved.
Yeah. Is Andrews likely? Then I'll have a little bit of Flowers. If Bateman plays, I might get a sprinkle depending on his ownership, but it's
Lamar,
not
Play a little Flowers. Lamar. Yeah, I don't mind Flowers here in this game. If we think that Lamar has sort of a pop game, I think it'll have to go through Flowers and the 2 tight ends. That's how it will be, or usually. So Flowers is fine, but he's definitely not somebody that I when I look at his price point on the slate compared to the other wide receivers, I think there are other ones with a lot higher floor and more likely to get us a big guy. I even think some of the $4,700 and $4,500 guys have like a lot of potential on the slate just as much as Flowers. So he's not going to be a priority for me compared to, let's say, Rashee Rice or Amon-Ra or those kind of guys. He's definitely second level at best.
Yeah.
All right, let's shift gears. And I don't like any of these turds. I really don't think that outside of a Lamar Jackson helmed lineup that I'm going to dive into these secondary wide receivers for. That'd be like, on my Lamar lineup maybe, but not something I want to do naturally. The Bengals, on the other hand, there's a lot going on here and a lot of salary affordability. This is the team. So last week, Chase Brown, full workload, all the carries. Perine was out. And he volumed his way to an acceptable score.
Yep.
I warned everybody that he wasn't a tournament play last week. You don't want to play underdog running backs in tournaments against the number 1 run defense or number 2 run defense. That came true, although I will give the Bengals credit for playing better yesterday than I thought they would.
You know what's interesting is he actually rushed really well. He had 100 yards rushing on 19 carries. It's just the targets weren't there for whatever reason. It
wasn't off the passes, which is crazier. But that's the thing about Chase Brown. Last week, because of no Pirine, he was going to be in the game no matter what. Team falls behind. That's the 8 receptions that happen in catch-up mode. Teams kind of playing from ahead or keeping it competitive. They're handing the ball, trying to, stay in the game, right? So he doesn't come off the field. That's the benefit. Here's the negative this week. Pirine is returning. And before Pirine got hurt, when it was 3rd down and a passing down, or it was the hurry up towards the end of the quarter, or all of those juicy times when the running backs tend to accumulate all of those cheap, easy fantasy points, it's Pirine in the game.
It definitely is not a good thing for Chase Brown, but also let's not try and pretend that Pirine is some, legitimate part of the offense where Chase Brown is getting a significant reduction here. We're talking about a guy that had a 2% target percentage on the season when he was in Pirine. So it definitely is detrimental to Brown a little bit, but I don't know that it's, earth shattering.
No, it's not like at 6,500 you can't play Brown, but Brown's floor is lower and he's far from a lock, but he would almost be kind of locked in this matchup at this price if it wasn't for the Pirine situation to me.
I think the return of Joe Burrow cancels the Pirine thing out. I really do. I think the return of Joe Burrow is a net positive for the entire offense, but yeah, that's my thought.
You don't think the departure of Joe Flacco is a net negative?
I do not know.
I mean, I was thinking the same way earlier today, Bobby. And then I was like, well, we saw Burrow with Brown for like 3 to 4 weeks earlier this season, and he still looked like trash. No. So I don't know.
That's true.
No. This is not a conversation about using Pirine in a DFS lineup. This is a conversation about should we not use Chase Brown because Pirine is bad. We're definitely not. I'm not interested in Pirine at all. It's just really how much usage will Brown get? Will Brown lose usage to Pirine? All right, guys, there's so many returns happening here. Last week, the return of Mike Gesicki happened for the Bengals, and he just went out there and already commanded a 15% target share, and he's catching passes like nothing ever happened. He's right back in there. Who was the guy that? Noah Fant, forgotten. Like it never happened. Gesicki is somebody that we're going to keep in mind.
You have to. I mean, even last year we saw it when Higgins goes down, they use Gesicki as a receiver, literally.
Yes.
So in this spot, you just have to. I like him a lot. Yeah.
Totally agree.
That is a great memory from last year, Josiah, that I totally forgot about. But that was a phenomenon that did happen last season. Those few games without T. Higgins, it was Gesicki that all of a sudden became a wide receiver. Very interesting. Of course, they didn't have the stud Tinsley last year.
This is true.
My God. We're doing this.
So, speaking of that, Tinsley is so shit, he didn't even make our matchup sheet. That's like our
Tinsley's
data
being scanned everywhere. Like he's like, T. Higgins reincarnate. Like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
No, it's just a turd. The better turd here is going to be Yoshivas. He will step in for T. Higgins directly into that role. He will get targets. Consider Yoshivas a standard WR2 like any other one that you're going to see.
Tinsley. My goodness.
Tinsley. You're laughing at Tinsley. You know what? BobbyWow, last time you laughed at my Michael Wilson call.
I know that. You know what? That's true. We gotta remember that. I crapped on your Michael Wilson play, and he made me look like the stupidest dingus on the planet.
2 weeks in a row.
Well, okay. The second week I bought.
No, you jumped on board the second week. Yeah, everybody got on board.
How could I not after I got torched so badly?
I'm on board again this week. That's a whole side note.
Okay,
Staying on the train.
Let's table it. All right.
Friday.
Staying on the train. I'm on it. Not getting off. Yeah, Tinsley, 6 targets, 2 receptions last week. So do with that what you will. That is the WR3 for this squad. I much prefer Yoshivas, who has gotten it done with Joe Burrow many, many times in the career together. Yeah, Turdsley, as Code Red says, it totally works. Turdsley is fine.
That shouldn't be that funny, but it is.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Turdsley's fine. Where were we? I'm losing track of what the hell I'm talking about. Yes. So that covers Cincinnati, right? We got Gesicki, Yoshivas, and Turdsley as your kind of Turdley trio that are acceptable. I love Yoshi here. I like Gesicki a little bit. And of course, how much Jamar Chase is too much Jamar Chase? You know, Chase is not priced that different from the other studs.
It's crazy, man. And he's got to be embarrassed after spitting. He's going to come out and he's got to want to show out here. But to Josiah's point really fast, Mike Gesicki has better receiving props than Yoshivas. Like, he is essentially considered the WR2 here, even, based on the books. So good call out. Yeah,
that is exciting. What's up? Thanksgiving super chat. I love it. I'm just going to put that up there. Let the chat read that comment.
Graphic.
He knows what's up. Got to be a part of the VIP stream, and we got to be part of DFS Army VIP. Promo code BF 2025, 25% off, guys. We're about to go to the domination station and take a look at the ownerships for the slate, and we'll get into our breakdown. We'll build a lineup at the end, but that's what's up. It's never too much glazing, bro. It's never too. We work hard here. We need the glaze. We love the glaze. Not too much. It's never too much, guys. Before, you know what else is never too much?
You a glaze guy, Geek? Yeah.
It's never too much taking money back from the sports books. And I've got to mention Sharp App right now. Thanksgiving, the perfect time. I'm thankful for being able to make bets where I can bet both sides of the same market and always win. I'm thankful for that. I don't know what you guys are thankful. We're all thankful for. I'm thankful for that. And from Sharp App for providing me with this wonderful tool. Guys, check out this tool. This is live right now. There's live game action happening. This is what it feels like. There must be, this is the pregame action. Wait, check this out. Live game action. Bam. UMass Lowell River Hawks versus Stonewall Skyhawks money line. There's free money to be made all over the place. This is the arbitrage tool. Just one of the suite of plus EV tools available to you at Sharp App. When you use this arbitrage tool, every single bet is a winner. Unless you fuck it up, which you can, but try not to fuck it up. We'll teach you how to do it in the Discord. Chapo, Darth Pasta, John Marchese. A lot of your favorite names that you see on the show in the comments, they're all in our Discord talking about Sharp App and talking about the arbitrage tool in particular. Go get signed up. Try it for free. 7-day trial. Link below. Promo code Geek. It's not actually code Geek. It's sharp.app/geek. You have to actually type the whole thing in. Sharp.app/geek. Go to the website, get signed up, or the app. You'll get a 7-day free trial to check out this software. It is awesome. I lose my money in the DFS. I make it back on the ARBs. At the end of the week, I'm making money. This is just one of the suite of tools, by the way. The Proptimizer has been glorious all season long as well, and I highly recommend using that and just playing all of the heavy edges and just clip those little edges in your favor. It's really awesome. Link in the Discord. Can you rematch the VIP stream if you miss it? Yes, the VIP stream is always there, and you can watch it whenever you want. You do not need to be there live. It's there now. Last week's is there now. You go back and watch it. As I was plugging Michael Wilson and Manny Wilson, the Wilson brothers, and Rashee Rice and Gibbs into every fucking lineup we made during that stream. Why didn't I use Winston to Wandale?
Oh, he was so good.
Dude, every lineup we made had Browns defense too, not 10 sacks in the first half. Like, everything was hitting perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Rice everywhere. And why did I get on the Winston? I don't know. I had a brain. I'm like, I think I'm getting old.
That's your guy. You forgot. It's okay.
Did I have an aneurysm? Because I got on Dart early in the week, and then it like fucked me up. I was like, fuck, he's not starting, and then I didn't take it the next level. Yeah. Oh, he wants to break the seal story. There we go. At the breaking of the seal at my in-laws' house tomorrow for tournament tactics. Guys, I think we should have before we get to this, I think we should have a tournament tactics crew challenge. Okay? At your Thanksgiving tomorrow. Start pounding beers. How many can you get through before breaking the seal, guys? Hold it. Do what you can. How many can you get through without the seal break? Right? It's going to be our little game that we're all playing in our heads. And then tomorrow on the Friday tournament tactics, we'll be like, yeah, how many beers in did you get? No, I got 4. I got 2. I'm a little light. You know what I'm saying? Like we can have a discussion about that. Audience, guys, that's the challenge. The tournament tactics. Thanksgiving. Why are you not participating in the challenge, BobbyWow?
You know what? Come on.
Holding in a pee. It's fine.
Do that with water.
I'm in.
No, we're not doing that with water. We're not doing that
Or
with
you
water.
make it bourbon and I'm in.
Bourbon is fine. Booze is fine. It should be beer because beer the ultimate. But if you need to go booze,
beer.
Actually, they have pumpkin spiced beer.
Okay, you know what? They do, and it's pretty good. But
it's not good.
I've never tried it. It's not gross.
Oh my gosh.
No, Oktoberfest is the pumpkin beer that, no pumpkin in it, but that's what I'm drinking.
Oktoberfest is fine, but not that. None of that flavor.
What beer pairs best with turkey, Geek?
Blue Moon. Blue Moon.
Really? Blue Moon?
Yeah, it's Blue Moon.
Okay.
That's the best one. For
Look,
turkey.
I mean, there's orange slices in this picture next to the turkey. So see
that turkey? You see that slice of orange?
That's a Blue Moon turkey.
Right on the cap. Yeah. Blue Moon. Nothing better than Blue Moon in turkey. And that's for real. That's not even a joke. Like that's real.
That's a Blue Moon glaze on there. Sat in a bag of Blue Moon, basking for 2 days before.
A little orange glazed turkey with your orange. Like there is an orange marmalade turkey. That is a way of making it. I don't know about that. I saw a video yesterday on turkey making. All right, guys, let's take a look at the position by position breakdown here. And mostly I'm curious about ownerships now. So we see here the quarterback group is on screen. Pat Mahomes, far and away, the chalk quarterback tomorrow, 30% ownership coming in. His props projection is significantly better than anybody in the price range. Followed by Lamar Jackson. Those two are the top chalk plays. And then all 4 of the rest of the quarterbacks are all about the same 10%. So I will send it out. BobbyWow and Josiah, talk to me. Does this make sense to you? Like, all right, is there anything we could do to change this up? Lamar, 23%. Mahomes, 30%. The chalk. Dak, Jolo, Goff, any one of those pop to you as like, hey, I want to be above the field on them?
Go ahead, Josiah.
I mean, for me, it's Dak Prescott. I just love this game. I want as much exposure to it as possible. The matchup, Chiefs have a pretty solid defense, but Dak is basically matchup proof for me at this point in time. We saw him put up 34 fantasy points against the Packers earlier this year, a team that most of us try to avoid like the plague, and it's why Jared Goff has the ownership he does. So for me, it's going to be Dak, and Lamar and Patrick, they're seeing the ownership they deserve to me.
Yeah, I fully agree.
I feel like Lamar is overowned.
I
don't know, man.
I'm biased because I played him last week, and I want him to be underowned, but I play everyone against the Bengals. I just don't think about it.
If you take away the last couple weeks, and you saw Lamar virtually the same price as Patty Mahomes against the league's worst defense, I think you're playing quite a bit of Lamar here. The problem for me is the price difference isn't that significant from like Jordan Love to Patrick Mahomes. It's talking about $1,000. Like,
yeah,
if there was a greater difference there, it'd make more sense to play some of these guys down below. But kind of for me, I'm gonna have a mixture of several of them, which kind of stinks. But that's kind of the way I see it. I like getting some exposure to these quarterbacks who are not favored. Like I think Jordan Love's intriguing here. Lions defense has been really vulnerable lately. They have not looked the same. Especially their passing defense has really, really struggled a bit. So I think Jolo's really intriguing with Watson there. And, Joe Burrow, obviously. The Ravens have been better as they've gotten healthier, but they're still not great. So just some intriguing underdogs here, along with Dak as well. He certainly fits that list.
All right, I want to get into now a little bit of strategy with these quarterbacks. So let's stick with it. Listen, we're not here. Lamar seems to be the best play, and he props out the best. But he's going to be high owned, right? I don't mind. I agree with you. I kind of I'm a little intrigued by Jordan Love just from like who the fuck is going to play him point of view. Plus, I think it's going to be tough to run on the Lions. So I think this is one of those games where they might be forced to throw a little bit. Dak, for all the reasons you mentioned, Josiah and Joe Burrow, because we haven't seen him. And I love a mystery, right? It's just mysterious. But what I want to talk about, mysterious is fun too. But what I want to talk about a little bit is like, who don't I want to play with this quarterback? So let's start with Mahomes. Automatic that if Mahomes is in the lineup, not that I'm playing those running backs anyway, it's not that big of a thing, but automatic if Mahomes is in the lineup, Hunt and Pacheco, no. Like Hunt needs to get 2 touchdowns to be relevant. That means Mahomes probably didn't throw those touchdowns. I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless it's a supreme blow-up game. Lamar, same idea. I definitely do not want Lamar with Derrick Henry. For Derrick Henry to produce, this is one of my concerns with Lamar. I don't see Lamar and Derrick Henry getting there in the same game. It could happen. But if both of those guys are going to be chalk, the last thing I want, I think it's either or. Josiah, you're not in agreement.
On a 3-game slate, I try to not rule myself out of wins in really weird scenarios, especially in high-scoring games where it wouldn't shock me if we do see Henry get like 2, maybe 3 touchdowns. Right now, Derrick Henry has the highest 2+ touchdown prop, even over Gibbs, who you would probably assume would have better odds there. So I don't know. I hear you. I get it. With Patrick Mahomes, hell yeah, I'm all in. But Lamar Jackson, I'm a little bit more nervous about it, even though what you're saying makes logical sense to me.
It's too chalky. I think I'm going to fade it fully. BobbyWow, though. What say you?
Yeah, this is where I really like kind of massaging the player grouping section of the DS, where I'll say, sim boost. If Lamar Jackson in the lineup, decrease projection for Derrick Henry by 15%. That's probably what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'll show you guys real quick what BobbyWow is referencing. The DFS Army sim boost rule is one of the secret weapons of what we have going on here. No one has anything like this, which I like. So this is where you'd say if Jackson is in lineup, then decrease projection for Derrick Henry, and then we can decide how much, like 15%. You make that rule, and now in Lamar lineups, it's just going to be so much less likely to have Derrick Henry, but it might end up pairing up here.
You might end up with a couple.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe here and there, but it won't be a main thing. I like that approach. I would say the same for the rest of these guys. Like Joe Burrow and Chase Brown, those are fine together, whatever. Dak and Javonte, I don't know that I want that combination either, although Javonte could catch a touchdown pass. I definitely don't like the idea, though. I think the worst one would be Jolo with Josh Jacobs. That does not pair well at all.
100%.
Sure.
Yeah. Jared Goff with Jahmyr Gibbs, acceptable. I don't love it, but acceptable. So overall, I would say for the most part, these quarterbacks, I want to either disallow or not use them with their running back, or use them very sparingly, even in 150 or 300 lineup run with their running backs. Everybody agreement there?
You could do that same rule for every quarterback outside of Goff. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, same. That's why I'm looking at the whole thing. Like, yeah, outside of Goff, who, Jahmyr Gibbs is as much a pass catcher as anything.
True.
All right, let's take a look at the ownerships at the running back position. As you guys can see, and I don't know how visible this is.
That's better.
On screen.
Yeah, that's good.
But as you guys can see here, Derrick Henry, 42% owned. Javonte, 40. That one surprised me a little bit. And then the rest of them, Gibbs, Jacobs, Brown, all over 30%. So they're all not that, there's not that much chalk here, other than that Derrick Henry is clearly a little bit above everybody else. And then Javonte at this moment is weirdly above everybody. I don't know that that'll huddle. Jahmyr Gibbs, who is the kind of on paper best running back on the slate, it comes in at 38%. Jacobs, Chase Brown, fine, right? I do not like Chase Brown today. What's
Jacobs
that?
at 35% is shocking to me with his props projection at 11 point. Like Jacobs is in a bad spot. You know, he's kind of banged up a little bit, and he's not even really cheap necessarily. And his props projection is brutally low. Yeah. So like seeing him at 35% is certainly a red flag for me.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Too much, right? Too much Jacobs. But who do you play? I think the top pairing is got to be Henry and Gibbs. That's like your, if I can afford them, cool. I could see paths to Javonte doing great or failing. I could see paths to Chase Brown having a decent game or failing.
I'm fine with Brown. You know what? And I talked about Montgomery last week and this whole idea that Detroit's offense is different this season. Gibbs is the number one guy, but Monty is cheap enough on this slate where he becomes somewhat interesting. His price tag is so far below every other running back here. And he's still going to get his 10 touches. You know, we know that to be true. He's going to get 8 to 10 touches here. At 4,800, he doesn't have to do a ton to be in the optimal lineup. So as much as I believe Gibbs is the RB1, clearly, and that's still true, Montgomery's price tag warrants some exposure.
Yep.
I'm buying it. I mean, it's not like the Packers have been that great versus running backs or anything. So they're a good defense, but they tend to just actually have a great secondary and do other things really well. Rush the passer.
Especially if the Packers on the road. Like, I'm a bit more comfortable with it.
I'm fine.
Not a great play by any means, but like certainly some value that potentially could open things up here at running back that we're desperate for.
Is there anybody below David Montgomery that is even viable here, or somebody we want to have any exposure? Brashard Smith for a couple lineup. Like, who'd you say?
Keaton Mitchell for me. If Justice Hill's out, I will have a ton of Keaton Mitchell.
A ton? Okay.
A ton.
All right.
Because I'm going to be underweight on Henry. It just the owners. I understand the spot. Just the ownership is kind of wild for a guy that doesn't look like a great running back. I know he's in a great spot here, but that's kind of the way I see the slate.
Street's beat is actually right. It does seem like these shorter slates, even the afternoon onlys, like it's like some backup running back. Charbonnet is the guy, or it's always something like that. Always seems to be. I don't like 3 running backs as of right now. I think that I will not probably have a ton of running back in my flex. I think it's hard enough to pick 2 of these guys to like. So I think the running back position is not where I want to like overload by any stretch.
Sure. Agreed.
All right. So yeah, outside of, I guess let's keep an eye on Keaton Mitchell and that whole situation for the Ravens with Justice Hill. I'm fine with it.
I do have a question, Bobby. If you're going a little under on Henry, are you ending up over the field on Javonte or Chase?
I'm over the field on Chase Brown, I think. I'll have plenty of Javonte as well, but I kind of like this idea to get unique of having one big pay up, which will be Gibbs, and then trying to get a cheaper guy in there, like a Monty or even a Keaton Mitchell potentially, if Hill's ruled out,
or Samaje Perine.
I will not have any Samaje Perine.
Damn it!
Which now he's going to score because I said that, but
damn it.
Here's the crazy thing. Monty's priced like he's a total turd. Like he is a, super turd. He's not that far off from these min-price guys. So he's the only one that's guaranteed touches here of all of them. So I kind of like trying to get some of him. And again, I am full on board with the Gibbs number 1 thing. I won't play Monty any other week, and I haven't yet, but he's cheap enough this week where I will.
Who's Denver playing this week?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I don't know.
They're playing Washington.
Washington? Oh. Yeah, I'd probably still play Dak. I'd play Dak in that one. But somebody else asked me a question. I didn't know who Denver was playing as well. All right.
I'm going to start Teddy Bridgewater over Bo Nix at this point.
Oh,
Just
brutal.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Brutal. All right. Let's get into the wide receiver group. And this is, is obviously a large group of players here. Jamar Chase, 50%. Highest owned, as well as the highest projection, as well as the highest everything. I think the thought is with no Higgins, with Burrow back, they're just going to pepper Chase with 15 targets in this one.
I think that's right.
That will outscore everybody if that happens.
Yep.
Of course, it's outdoors. It's at night. It's wintertime. The other games are in weather-controlled environments, all that good stuff. So I guess there's pathways for, trouble. But yeah, Chase. So you got Amon-Ra right behind him in both salary and ownership at 42%. Then Rashee Rice, slightly cheaper, 38%. Lamb right the same ownership, 36. Zay Flowers at 30. Pickens at 25. Pickens more expensive than CD Lamb. And after that, this is sort of the stud zone. So let's pause right there. So you've got effectively what are 6 wide receivers on the slate that are considered studs. A lot of, I think, our play with these guys will be determined by who our quarterback is or who our comebacks are. Like, if you're playing Mahomes, you're probably playing Rice of this group. But BobbyWow, does anybody stick out to you here as like, this guy is a great play this week for this reason, other than, Amon-Ra, Rice having the same projection and a clear reduction in projection from Lamb to Pickens?
For me, it's CD Lamb. I think the combination of not quite as chalky as, Amon-Ra, Jamar. I like the price point below 7K. He doesn't kill your lineups. And it just feels like, you guys kind of talked about it up top. It feels like this is the get right game for CD Lamb. Back at home, Thanksgiving, coming off a game where, he's had some more drop issues. I feel like they're going to pepper Lamb with targets here, and his price tag's too cheap for that. So I like Lamb a lot.
Love Lamb.
Yeah.
Lamb is the man. Big fan of a Donna kebab.
My grandma used to make a lamb cake for Thanksgiving.
I said I'm a big fan of a Donna kebab as well.
What?
Turkish dish made from lamb. It's wonderful. Are we afraid at all that Joe Burrow is going to come in after being out for weeks and weeks and weeks? We're going to have 50% owned Jamar Chase, and Burrow's just not going to look good because he's rusty?
I mean, I think it's more of a concern for me with Joe Burrow himself. And with the chalky Chase, that's terrifying. But
yeah,
I'm still
terrifying. Why are we glazing over the fact that Burrow hasn't played in forever? He was not that great when he was playing this year, and we were excusing it to slow Joe, who always starts the year off slow, but then he got hurt. He never got a chance to be awesome. And now we're playing him in chalk. I haven't seen this guy in months.
I don't know that a rusty Burrow will be any worse than Joe Flacco.
What?
Joe Flacco wasn't awful.
Joe Flacco is
I know, and that's not a knock on Joe. Not a knock on Flacco. It's just more so just Burrow. A rusty Burrow is just fine, I think. Someone brought it up last week, though. It was the inverse because Jamar Chase was out, T. Higgins was in. It feels like these guys are better off almost, especially, with T. Higgins. But is Jamar Chase hurt by T. Higgins not playing? Like now all the attention can kind of No.
I thought that was a good question.
It is a good question, but these games have been played out. It does not. Higgins hurts Jamar Chase because Higgins is a dominant wide receiver, and you could just throw it to him and he's going to catch it, in the same way that Pickens is harming the overall. I thought that Pickens on the team would open things up for CeeDee Lamb, but it hasn't, because Pickens is so fucking good that he's absorbing those targets. The same thing happens on the Rams. Look at the Rams. What's going on with Puka? He can't catch a touchdown. Why? Because the other guy is really good. You need like a WR2 that's good, but not very good. And then it helps the WR1 more. But in this case, because T. Higgins, if Chase is covered, you just throw it to T, and he's like, just barely a notch less good than Jamar Chase. He's catching it, so it doesn't help. It works out better when that second guy is just kind of mid, but at least he's there and he's got a brand name. It's like, somebody who can command a little bit of respect, but not enough to take the production goes to Higgins. Look what happened the last 2 weeks. It's been Higgins that has been more productive, and Chase gets 6 targets all of a sudden. I'd give me Jamar Chase well covered, but getting force-fed 15 targets during a game, I'll take it all day.
Yep, no, that's good. I'm trying to find a reason to fade.
Yeah, like it's worth the conversation, but I just can't really end up pulling the trigger on that full fade. I do like Rice though in this section. Yeah. I've been talking about it all year. Cowboys play a very soft zone. Teams can pick on it very easily, and like I said, the right guard being out, I think, does increase the chances of more shuffle passes to players like Rice and Kelsey in the red zone. And so they're just guys I'm wanting to make a priority.
Here's my fade reason. We need a reason to fade Chase. I'll give you one.
Ooh, okay.
And it's not going to be a fade, guys. People
underweight.
Yeah, people mistake the terminology fade. Fade could mean I'm not playing this guy, but when I use the term, underweight is a more appropriate term. There's no chance on a 3-game slate that I was like, I'm not playing any Chase. Fuck him. No, that will cause him to go nuclear. As a matter of fact, if I were to do that, you guys should all only play him. But he doesn't. A 50% owned player in a 3-game slate never needs to be over-owned. That's already over-owning. You got to go under the field on that. So I'll probably say, you know what? If he's going to be 50%, I'm going to cap this guy right around like 33, something lower than the field, so that if he goes off, I'll still have some. I'll get those. But if he fails and he knocks out 50% of the lineups, maybe only 30% of mine will get knocked out.
I agree. And part of that too is because you can really probably only afford 2 of these guys, CeeDee Lamb and above. With running back the way it is.
Gibbs, by the way.
Well, yeah, of course, because you're going to have to pay up for one of the stud running backs, it feels like. And even if not, there's still 6,500 are the cheap guys. So like, you probably can only afford 2 of these guys.
Yeah. So, I'll tell you right now, my first lineup had Rice and Lamb in it. It did not go to Chase. So I was like, my not looked at without looking at projections, without looking at ownerships. My first build went to Lamb and Rice, which, by the way, is halal. I'm waiting for that one to kick in. Lamb and Rice.
That was good, Brady.
I never should have allowed Brady to make that Kevin Downer thing.
That was actually pretty dang funny.
That was a good moment for it, though. That was a good moment for it.
Your joke was funny too.
Yeah. Halal.
You man, I don't want to. You are so underrated funny sometimes. You just get it's so good.
I feel like everyone knows he's funny. Like, it's so good.
Actually, yeah, underrated probably isn't the right word, but phenomenal stuff.
I don't know where this shit comes from. All right, let's keep going. I don't want to. We're going off the rails here. This is gonna be forever. It's my fault.
This is gonna be as long as it is a full slate tournament tag this year. We got to get rolling.
We're just taking our time with it, man.
2.5 hours.
All right. Yeah, Zay Flowers. So on the way down here, so as we get to the secondary zone, like I think it's Lamb, Rice, Chase. For some reason, Amon-Ra not popping for me. I don't care though. I like all these guys. Who cares? Don't go overboard. I think the way, if we're attacking a big tournament and you're trying to win a big championship, it's just like, just don't go overboard on any one. I don't fucking know which one it's going to be. But I'm favoring Rice and Lamb a little bit, then Chase, then Amon-Ra. But those guys are all great. Like if I have 28% Amon-Ra instead of 33% field, I'm still got plenty of Amon-Ra. I'm just not making my week about any of these guys.
Agreed.
Is what it comes down to.
I was laughing about this morning as well.
Island Boys?
Your Island Boys.
I'm just trying to make it. Oh,
man.
I love an obscure reference and somebody gets it. It's like the greatest thing ever.
Too many
Wait.
people got that yesterday. It was almost concerning.
The doctor phoned in sick. There it is. Ash coming with the dad jokes as well. Here we go. This is the place where you're going to make your money this week, guys. So pay attention. Secondary wide receivers. I'm talking names, everybody 5K and under. And it starts with Jameson Williams, who, by the way, last week, like I said, was the supreme main slate chalk at 5,700. Everybody wanted to play him. Right here in the chat, everybody's going to Jamo Williams, Jamo in the chat. I'm like, what the fuck does everybody want to play Jameson Williams for? Puts up a 0. And now no one wants to play him. He's down to, 22%, the same as Dubs for the same price. So, oh, how the mighty hath fallen. Oh, how the mighty hath fallen. And yet, I'm just reading the chat. It's like going nuts in there. I got to focus on what we're doing.
I thought I was frozen for half a second. I was like,
I'm just reading the chat. It's like there's like crazy words being typed in the chat that are just distracting as hell.
I think we'd all agree that Jamo's too cheap here.
He's
Agreed.
too cheap. Go right back to Jamo Williams. No Wiz Khalifa in this game.
Maybe.
Probably. But they don't throw to him anyway. Jameson Williams will go right back to him. Great. Right?
Yep.
You've got Christian Watson and Romeo Dubs there. Interesting that Dubs has a higher. I am surprised that Dubs still projecting just a smidge higher on the props. I don't agree with it.
Well, I'm surprised they're the same price. I'm surprised Dubs is cheaper, honestly. Dubs has been the guy all season. I mean, Watson has looked better the last week or two, but both guys are acceptable.
Yeah.
Probably not together.
Not together,
Unless
but
you're
both
playing
guys. But I think I like Watson more. I like Watson more.
I agree. I think, to me, you can make the case that Watson has a higher ceiling. I think Dubs has the higher floor.
Probably
Safer.
And it's somewhat reflected in the prop projection here. So second level down, guys. Xavier Worthy, okay, 4,500. Stack him up with Mahomes, fine, great. Low owned.
He's a great way to get different if you're stacking up Mahomes.
And you talk about really low owned. Yoshavas at 6%. Excuse me.
That's where it gets a little weird.
That's crazy, man.
That makes zero sense.
Everyone's playing Tinsley,
I don't even
apparently.
actually believe this will be correct by the time the game comes around. Maybe it's Worthy and Watson and Dubs and Jamo sucking everyone in, and that's leaving Yoshavas as the odd man out.
Which kind of makes sense because they're the same price. I mean, they're essentially, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Yoshavas is a solid play. That's ownership's too low.
I like this. This zone here is good. All of them. Yoshi, Worthy playable with Mahomes, Watson and Dubs. This is not the kind of game that the Packers are going to be able to sit back and run it with. They're not going to be. They're going to have to throw the fucking ball. This isn't that game. They're not going to be able to lean on Josh Jacobs and just dominate on the road at Detroit. No, they're going to have to throw. And there's no Tucker Kraft. There's no tight end to command targets. It's going to go to these two guys. What a fun slate, because you can actually feel confident in playing these sub 5K wide receivers that they're pretty good.
Yeah. Can y'all talk me into Worthy a little bit? What am I missing on him?
Worthy's just a big play guy. I mean, it really comes down to one thing. If the matchup is not best for him, he's just on the field the whole time.
That's it.
The best thing from
That's it for me.
It's right here. It's just in the matchup tool.
He's out there
getting
in a good
targets
game
and he's on the
environment.
field.
He's there 77% of the snaps. You know who else is out there 77% of the snaps? No one. He has the highest snap count.
And a 18% target share, most weeks will get it done for Worthy on a slate like this at 4,500 or whatever.
No, Worthy is way better than MVS. I actually, he might be MVS, but I feel like I'm still of the mind that he's better than MVS.
He's MVS? We're going
I'm
there
of the
already?
He has
mind
like,
that he's better.
one touchdown this year?
No, he's better than
Sweet
MVS.
Lord.
Give me
If that.
that's what's
Worthy
up.
looked so good last season for a while, and then he, I don't know.
This year he's been a ghost, and Bryce wasn't even playing half the season. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what's up, guys. You got to
He's a
play
ghost
these guys.
this year, you're right.
Worthy, remember that even a turd like Mecole Hardman in this kind of role on this team would put up a 22 on occasion. I've seen Hollywood Brown put up a 20 already this year. This deep ball guy with Mahomes, do not ignore, right? Yes, the floor is low. Who cares?
And the only other thing I'll go back to is with Noah Gray out, he's likely to see a uptick in snap counts even worthy.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm in now.
And Yoshi, I mean, at 6%, that's a great low-owned play. Anybody under the Yoshi guys at all?
Yes.
At all.
I will be overweight on a couple of these guys. And by that, I mean 8 to 10%
like
ownership. I think Rashad Bateman is worth some shots with Lamar. I think Dontavian Wicks is definitely worth some looks as well. Even if Golden plays, I'm going to have some exposure to Wicks. He'll be like 1% owned. So I'm going to try to get 5%. And then the other guy, the final guy I'll mention is Tesla. If Wiz Khalifa is out, we've seen some legitimate athleticism from Tesla. I think he could be really intriguing, super min price punt if the Khalifa is out. You've got one tight end now, right? We kind of talked about this with the Chiefs a little bit. Detroit's down to one tight end, which means all these receivers are getting extra snaps. They're not in those two tight end sets. If Khalif sits, that means Tesla could be in for a relatively significant snap share. Will that lead to production? I don't know. But at min price, guy that's going to be on the field and a really solid offense, I'm going to take some shots on him.
And we've seen what he can do. Like, we know he has the potential to do well here. So I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so hard to see it unless like a 3K wide receiver being needed, unless like some other shit's going on where you need to pay up for some other spots to allow it. But yeah, Tesla, with no Wiz Khalifa, and he's had big plays. They've thrown it to him deep. I think he's had a touchdown or two already this year.
Yep. And I'll double down on the Bateman call too. I really like that one. Like, he's shown he has like 15, 17 point upside already this season. He's been out, he's been hurt, but with him being healthy and playing, like, I'll take a shot on that. That was a good call.
Absolutely. Now, tight end position is where I think I do believe this slate has a high possibility of being yet another 3-game slate that favors the tight end in the flex.
I'm all in.
So, guys, just so you know, because you're watching here, we've done a lot of research on these 3-game slates, and the incidence of tight end in the flex is shockingly high. Not quite as high. Like in 2-game slates, it was almost like 40%, 50%. Here, we're probably sitting in the 30% range, but it is very, very common for the tight end to be for a second tight end to be the nuts flex play. So do not ignore the tight end position. We already talked through these guys a little bit, but let's look at ownership. So it looks like the chalk is Andrews, Kelsey, and then after that, it's just kind of BobbyWow.
He's right there.
So you've got low-owned Gesicki.
I wish I could play 3 tight ends this week, honestly.
Right?
Honestly. Like, these guys are priced as min-price wide receivers.
Most of them are better than a lot of these wide receivers, period. So, obviously, Andrews and Kelsey are the chalk. I would proceed with caution, man. Andrews has not been good chalk throughout his career.
Andrews is the scarier one for me.
Yeah, I really like Kelsey.
He's cheaper.
Too. Yeah. I really like Kelsey. I think Andrews as chalk, fine. I'm definitely not going over the 30%. Nope.
No, me neither.
Yeah, it's not.
I'll be a little under that.
Yeah, I like that. I love your call on Gesicki. Likely, certainly could get it done here. And man, you got me on Gesicki. I'm just thinking about it, and the more I think about it, the more I remember that narrative with T. Higgins last year.
I wish Likely wasn't so chalky because he's been so bad. I felt like this is a great week just to put my finger up to the wind and give it a shot because he's on the field as much as Andrews almost. He's getting some targets.
Same amount of targets. It hasn't
he's
even
just
been
not turning it into any sort of fantasy points.
Yeah.
It does feel like, again, this is going to be one of those weeks where you see guys like him, I think, rise to the occasion. Even Bateman, it feels like the perfect small slate guy that's going to break it. There's always one or two of these guys, and likely certainly fits that bill. But 18%, that's a little chalky.
Surprising, but he is 2,600. So
right,
Stone Min, he's going to get a pass. Like, is he such a bad play? I get it, right? At 2,600, likely he's going to be on the field for 50% of the snaps. He's going to catch a pass or two.
He's effectively min price, which to me rules out a guy like Tunyon. Like, to me, Isaiah Likely is so much better of a play than any of these other turds that are min price down here.
These cheap guys are
so high owned.
They're so reasonably priced that I'll give you this: the Kohler touchdown won't actually even kill you. Like, if you didn't like it will. Kohler gets a touchdown, right? He gets a 7 because he catches it from the 5-yard line. He gets a 7.5. That might not be enough. Like, that might not be like you're done for the day situation. That is where you can absorb a Kohler touchdown, and I don't have any of him, and it's fine.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I've been trying to wrap my head around, because on a lot of these Thanksgiving slates, we have low scoring, gross, disgusting ass scenarios where those 1 or 2 touchdowns can like really screw you over with like turds like Hunt and random backup tight ends. But if the game's high scoring and the studs are really popping off, those things will hurt a little bit less. So yeah, I think y'all are locked in with what you're saying there.
Yeah. So the tight, the interesting one that no one is playing at all, and it makes sense from a matchup perspective. Jake Ferguson, no one's playing him. Fergie's been a pretty good tight end this year.
He's fallen off, but he's been really good at times. Yeah. He's a stack with that guy.
Yeah. Chiefs have been really good at slowing down tight ends. That's one of the reasons why I'm not super worried about it. But Fergie just does his thing. But it's really interesting. Look at the props projection. This is very aggressively high for Kelsey, and this is wildly aggressively high for Mark Andrews as well. An 11.5, that's intense. That's higher than what Fergie's getting at 5,100.
Yeah,
Kelsey has every reason to succeed with Noah Gray being out.
Yeah, that does help a smidge. And then why play Likely when Brock Wright is only 200? I'm not sure that Brock Wright is better than Likely. I haven't seen anything. I mean, Brock Wright too. Let's not forget about him.
Yeah, he's viable.
Before.
He's viable.
Do not forget this. This is how you can do whatever the fuck you want at the other positions. Just play 2 tight ends.
Yep.
The only negative to 2 tight ends is like Christian Watson and that crew. They're not that much more expensive. Like, you could kind of do that too.
Well, you'll still need at least one of those guys in your 3 wide receiver set. So still play Watson, Geek. Don't worry.
I mean, if Reed does come back, though, I do start to question things more there.
I would like Fergie to start having big games again, so I can bring back the image of Fergalicious that made BobbyWow very uncomfortable the last time. I want to bring it back on Ferguson.
Those are good times.
That it did.
It did. It made him uncomfortable, and that made me happy. I just want to do it again.
I don't like that my uncomfortableness makes you happy, but that's okay.
I do enjoy it. Guys, let's move on to defense. I don't have that much to say about defenses this week other than to say punt. I don't know. Interesting that Ravens are the highest owned, but they're the most expensive. I'd probably agree with that. Joe Burrow off injury might not be as sharp as he normally would be.
Yeah.
That sets up well for him. I mean, is there anything else? I just started playing Bengals defense because I was like, fuck it, I'll take the cheapest one.
My advice would be don't uncheck anybody and get a healthy mixture. That's the way to go here.
Yeah.
Now the question here is, I think, how many are you allowing versus defense?
3.
Okay.
Just
show people in the setting.
Yeah.
Real quick. Don't not forget this rule, please.
And let me explain the reason for the rule. Amongst so many other things, normally the domination station is set up where it automatically disallows using a player. It's right here. It automatically disallows using players versus the defense in your lineup. That's a main slate rule that we can, I haven't found it's all that predictive, to be honest. There's a lot less correlation between like a defense and an opposing wide receiver than you would think. There's virtually none. And there's almost no negative correlation between defense and opposing offense, as weird as that sounds. So already we're starting with the correlation here is very questionable to begin with. So the reason you allow these players, there's only 3 games. And if one defense is constantly disallowing an entire team's worth of players, that actually does not necessarily put you in a position to be successful. So we say mostly ignore defense on these slates in terms of allowing defenses and offensive players against that defense. Don't let the defense determine which offensive players you use in the lineup. That's kind of the theory behind that and why we do this.
Yep.
Don't let it determine what players you're using, because the defense will score a random strip sack, touchdown, and it gets a 10, and it's the best one, and it's not even a good defense. This will probably be where the slate is won, though.
Yeah.
In the most mysterious part of it.
I don't know. I think we give too much credit to defense on a short slate like this. You can mix them up. You get the right turd that pops here. If Gesicki pops off for 15 points or Watson pops off for 20 points, that's what's gonna win you the slate here.
Yeah. No, but if a defense gets a 12 and every other one gets a 3, that'll be the difference maker between. I mean, you need to perfect in the Millie Maker. There's 500,000 entries. You need to be perfect.
You need to be perfect. Sure.
Yeah, you need to be absolute perfection, and missing anywhere is not going to work.
I think my point is any one of these 6 could score 12 points here. Not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Like a special teams touchdown could do it. Like any random BS there.
Zach Everhart, yes, there will be a VIP Domination Station Optimizer setup stream later today. You're probably looking at around 8 p.m. This evening, give or take. So yes, there will be that. We won't do that here on the public broadcast, but that will be for later for DFS Army subscribers. And remember, if you're not subscribed to DFS Army, has there ever been a better time? The biggest sale ever. Black Friday, promo code BF2025 on the DFSArmy.com website gets you 25% off, locked in forever. Let's go. I won't mention it again. That's it. Don't ask me what the code is again either. It's right there. BF2025. Get in there. I do. I get the question right after I say that. I'm like, what's the code? I was like, dude, just said it like 10 times. All right. Let's I don't really like to do a lineup. I'll kind of do a lineup here, but
yeah, save the bulk of the lineup stuff for the VIP stream.
Yeah, I don't really want to put too much together here. It's also like that's really domination station building, but I think if you're going chalk, probably something like that as a start. Want to get Rice in there? Can you get Lamb?
Oh man, it's gonna be tough. Get your cheapy tight ends, double tight end here.
You're going to get a double tight ends.
Gesicki. Yeah, why not? Right? Put the cheapest defense, dude. Look what you could do. You could play whatever you want.
You really can.
Packers, whatever.
That's why it's so easy to get Chase, and that's why he's so high.
Not really play everyone you want though, because
I mean, not exactly.
You want to play Kelsey with Mahomes here.
Well, we have Rice.
You do have Rice already.
Yeah, and you can't do Kelsey, Gibbs, Henry, Rice, and Lamb like that. It's too many.
That won't work.
Even if I go down to the cheapest of all defenses, just to say YOLO, you cannot get Kelsey in this build. It doesn't work.
It wouldn't compute.
Doesn't work.
You'd have to probably get off of Gibbs or something.
Yeah, I'd have to get off Gibbs or Henry. You can't do it. Yeah, but I mean, there's the dilemma. You can't do it. You can't get. So if I want Mahomes, Kelsey, Rice, if I want that, fine. But I can't also use Gibbs or Henry and Lamb. So you have to give up one of these other luxury pieces. Let's say
keep in mind here, you do not have Jamar Chase in this lineup, who is currently projected the highest score. So like you can't do everything.
No. Oh, you definitely can't do whatever you want. But the point is you can afford the VIP stream, Jeff Jones, is not for lineups. That literally is to help set up the domination station optimizer. That's what we're going to do. It's not a lineup building, just so you know. It's just how we set up the domination station to attack a 3-game, and then how you can manipulate the tools that we have to deliver what your vision is for the slate for you. So part of what we do at DFS Army is we don't just like have these awesome tools that we use for ourselves. We also really want to take the time to share how this tool works, how we use it, how you can set it up for yourself. It's a really important difference between what DFS Army is and what anything else is. We're, of course, we do have a VIP stream for main slates, big slates, where we do lineup building and contest selection, stuff like that as well. But really for a 3-gamer, it's going to be all about how to set up the optimizer to run lineups to attack these giant super contests. And if you think you're beating a super contest by handcrafting 5 or 6 lineups, you're not. That's not how you're going to beat that. That is a game where you have to make a lot of lineups, and that's how that game works. If you want to just handcraft lineups, that's awesome too. But we do that. You want to do that in multipliers and other much, much smaller contests that you give yourself a real chance to actually do something in. I'm not going to handcraft a lineup right now that beats 586,000 other lineups on DraftKings to take down first place. No way. There's nothing. My brain doesn't even work crazy enough to even come up with what the fuck that has to look like. That's like, it's like Mahomes stacked with Jamar Chase and somehow it works. Like, I don't know. With that being said, I don't know.
Last thing I'll say, one sneaky thing I find myself seeing more in my Dom station runs after I've kind of done my adjustments is double Detroit running back.
Okay.
I feel like we've talked about double Detroit.
No golf, double Detroit running. Again,
no golf too.
The caveat is Monty is priced like a super turd. He's basically min price. That's why.
You could do that here too. I know it worked.
Yeah. I don't like the Monty Gibbs combo at all. I feel like we've been looking and waiting for that to hit, and it just never does.
I'm not telling you to put it in your, multiplier. I'm just saying in my MME lineups, I'm going to have a handful with both guys.
Yeah.
Same.
Danny, if you join DFS Army, you want to be in our Discord. So make sure you connect up your account to and get into the DFS Army Discord. That's where all of our stuff is posted. So DFS Army, you want to get in on the top right corner of the website. There's a little button there for the Discord. You can't see it here because my stream cuts off that button up top, but it's up top in the right-hand corner, and it shows you how to set up your account and connect to the Discord. You definitely want to do that as well. Guys, I think that's it. I think we wrap it up here. This is a nice long discussion of the 3-game turkey slate. I love this one.
Yeah.
It's always fun. There's big tournaments to attack all over the place. I don't even know if we got like a Pocket Max or some other shit like that we could do for tomorrow. Yeah. Is there? Oh, yeah. Yep. All right. So I haven't even reserved yet. I haven't reserved yet. So going to be doing that now. And again, guys, for those of you who are subscribed to DFS Army, figure around tonight around 8 o'clock. We'll do a, for anybody who wants help getting the optimizer set up for their runs, I'll be doing my runs. So I'll go live and we'll just talk it through, answer questions, all that good stuff. Jim Parrish had a super chat question.
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
Who's breaking the slate for the Millie Maker? There it is. I got 2 free tickets from DraftKings. Who's breaking the slate, guys?
I think we already talked about our turns. You got Gesicki at tight end.
I like that Gesicki call. Christian Watson, is that a slate breaker?
He's maybe, could be. To Sly, I think min price, take some shots. Monty, cheap, low owned.
It's good.
Burns, I think Burns' job didn't let him off on this Wednesday afternoon. Works
for Friday.
Works for Uncle Sam. Blame Trump.
I think we talked through it.
Yeah.
Tinsley, good. Tinsley's a good shout. I know I was joked about him being terrible earlier, but without T. Higgins, he's certainly viable here on a slate like this.
How about fading Jamar Chase is the play that wins the whole thing?
Very viable too.
And Rusty Joe.
Rusty Joe. Oh, bro.
Yeah, Rusty Joe.
Yeah, I am fading Joe Burrow. I'm not playing him tomorrow.
I like this call. Jamo 30-pointer coming off the 0. No one wants to play him at 48,700.
Yep, that's another good one.
Yep.
There we go.
All
right. Good luck this week, guys. Helmets up. We will be back here on Friday. There's 2 games. We got a showdown breakdown on Friday afternoon, and then we've got the big tournament tactics covering the Sunday main slate as well. So it's a crazy week of content here. Games are coming up like crazy. It's hard. My ADD brain doesn't want to look at main slate because all I want to think about is Thursday. But shit, we got a main slate to deal with. So a lot of that going on, guys. Get your blue moons at your Thanksgiving celebrations tomorrow. I will be more thankful if somebody shows up in my house with a case of Blue Moon than anything. Oh, shout out to Poop Sammy, one of our watchers and a DFS Army member who sent me salmon. The guy's in Alaska. He went
really
out
cool.
to the lake in his backyard, pulled fucking king salmon out, put that shit in a box, and sent it my way. And it arrived yesterday. I've not partaken in the salmon yet, but I shall. So shout out to Poop Sammy.
That's so cool.
Which, interestingly, Poop Sammy is not a reference to salmon at all, but rather it was a reference to a shit sandwich, which was his fantasy football team. Had nothing to do with salmon, which really was surprising to me.
It's a fun little nugget.
Yeah, I just thought it was like Poop Sammy, something to do with salmon. It's not. It's totally not related. But awesome stuff. I will let you guys know how that salmon cooks up.
Friday update.
It's not farmed. Yeah, it's the real shit, like Alaska. I've never even had like real salmon. It's just like Atlantic farm shit around here. Then I'll give you the real deal. No, I'm sure I've had it, but
marmalade glazed.
We do like a chili glaze to our salmon, like that. There's like a spicy chili thing. It's nice.
Whoa. All right.
Sounds good.
Marmalade glaze for the turkey.
Well, keep us posted on that.
Yeah.
Marmalade glaze, guys, for your turkey.
I want pictures in the Discord.
Yeah. You know who else loves the salmon though? Cato. We get salmon. This one goes crazy.
Oh, you can't give the cat that salmon.
No, I give her the skin. I don't enjoy eating the skin part. I give her the skin. All right. Good luck, everyone. Helmets up. We'll see you guys on Friday. And for DFS Army members, I'll see you guys tonight. We'll do a setup of the optimizer. Take care, guys.